Let me just continue to read from this Global News article because it is astounding, his latest convictions. Again, why didn't a prosecutor apply for dangerous offender status? This guy was an obvious problem waiting for a place to happen. He was already terrorizing everybody around him. It was only a matter of time. But that's the thing about all these school shootings and stuff and people who go on these like killing sprees. Nobody ever says he was a nice guy who just snapped and I never saw any of it coming. Everybody always says total weirdo, total maniac. It was only a matter of time before he went on this killing spree, school shooting, whatever. It's always that. So why aren't they acting to do something about these people beforehand? And I'm not saying convict people of pre-crimes, but earlier intervention when you see somebody with a clear history of violence like this with criminal
59
convictions.
charges.
Maybe. Look at this. His most recent convictions were for assault with a weapon, assaulting a police officer, uttering threats, mischief, and robbery. All from, I think, one incident, by the way, according to parole records. So this evidence was before the parole board. In June 2017, okay, so this is only 5 years out. So he's granted parole after less than 5 years. You know what? It's got to be sooner than that because let's say it takes 18 months to get to trial from June 2017. So let's say it's 2019. And for all of this, he's granted parole in 2021, early 2021. So what did he spend? 2.5 years in jail for this? After a history of violence? According to parole records obtained by Global News, in July 2017, Sanderson showed up at an ex-girlfriend's house, acted in a threatening manner, made comments about a gang, and damaged property. While the children hid in the bathtub, he punched a hole in the bathroom door before going outside and throwing a cement block through the side window of a car. He fled before the police arrived, and then days later, so he was on a rampage then when he did this. Days later, during an argument with an employee at a First Nations band store, Sanderson tried to fight the victim, then threatened to murder him and burn down his parents' house. Again, police could not find him. In 2017, he threatened an accomplice, hitting him in the head with a firearm and stomping on his head. Then he made the accomplice rob a fast food restaurant with a firearm. Parole boards indicate. Why wasn't this guy charged with kidnapping? Also, wait,
Sheila,
there's more. David, wait, there's more.
Of course.
Then the following April, while drinking at a home, he stabbed 2 men with a fork. Then he went outside and beat a victim who lost consciousness in a ditch. Sanderson returned to the home and kicked in the door. He was finally arrested. So I bet he only served 2 years for all of this. He was finally arrested in June 2018 after telling police they would have to shoot him. So he obviously does not fear his own death here. Yeah. As he was being put in the police car, he kicked an officer in the face and head repeatedly. His prison sentence for this rampage totaled 4 years, 4 months, and 19 days, along with 12 months of probation. But he was then released in February 2021, transferred to a healing lodge, and then freed August 2021 on statutory release.
Well, Sheila, there's two things here. One is the complete disrespect the justice system has for victims. Imagine you being that mother with the children hiding in the bathtub, and you go, oh my God, what a harrowing experience, but thank God they caught him. They'll throw away the key on this guy. Oh, no, they won't. No, they won't. He'll be back and back to probably carry out even more revenge, thinking you might have had something to do with calling the police. That's the one thing, again, the complete, utter disrespect of victims that get re-victimized. And the second thing, when you mentioned the healing lodge, let's not forget, this is an example of a race-based justice system we have in Canada. I'm not throwing all healing lodge cases out the window. I think there's a difference, though, Sheila, if you're caught shoplifting, if you're caught stealing a car versus, attempted murder, torture, stabbing people. I mean, that is, I'm sorry, I think that's beyond the bailiwick of a healing lodge. That, to me, screams maximum penitentiary. and this guy should never have been out. And like I said at the beginning, forget about calling him a dangerous offender. All those things you described, Sheila, that surely adds up to decades worth of incarceration. But no, it's 2 years here, 4 years here. You're out in good behavior, reduced sentence. What an absolute sham this is.
Not only that, these horrible offenders know what a cozy ride those healing lodges are. Remember when Tori Stafford's killer, Terry Lynn McClintock, white lady, she made an application to try to get transferred to a healing lodge. Do you remember the story of Tori Stafford? I mean, I can't even talk about it as a mother.
It's horrible.
Just horrific. She's the one she is the Karla Homolka in this. I think these two, by the way, would have been serial killers had they not been caught on the first go round, because they had the makings of a predatory relationship. The woman gets the child and the man does horrible things to the child and then kills her with a rock. And buries her under a rock pile in my mom's hometown, by the way. But
wow.
She tried to get transferred to a healing lodge. Just because she knows it's an easy ride. It's much easier than Gen Pop when you're a child killer. So there's that too. But as a rural person, constantly getting these alerts to my phone when the police are, half an hour away. Justin Trudeau had some advice for me earlier in the year. And I know that Olivia has that clip thrown up. So I'm a half an hour from cops. There are people on a murderous rampage, and all across the prairies, we're getting this message saying, we don't know where these guys are. Take extra precautions, lock your doors, be aware. But Justin Trudeau says that I can't defend myself. So maybe Olivia can roll that clip.
And we have a culture where the difference is guns can be used for hunting or for sport shooting in Canada. And there's lots of gun owners, and they're mostly law respecting and law abiding. But you can't use a gun for self-protection in Canada. That's not a right that you have in the Constitution or anywhere else. If you try and buy a gun and say it's for self-protection, no, you don't get that. You get it for hunting. You can get it for sport shooting. You can take it to the range, no problem, as long as you go through our rigorous background checks. But there's a difference around the culture. And one of the things that we're seeing with the debate in the States is you get more and more of the American style, right to carry, self-defense arguments filtering up through the usual more right-wing communications channel.
Sheila, when he says, no, you don't get that right, meaning to have a gun.
He gets it.
Yes, exactly. He has that right times 6 with his security detail, all of whom are armed. And sometimes when he doesn't like questions, he weaponizes his security detail, not necessarily with their guns, but with their fists, as you saw what happened to me last December. What a bloody hypocrite.
Oh, hi. That was a clip from our Rebel Daily live stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.